Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. I am back today, and I'm super excited about what we're going to be talking about today. I have Melanie from Bella Bridesmaids Nashville with me because as we're going through this, I just figure, we're in a weird time of life. We're just really, we're just dealing with a lot of craziness right now, and there's a ton of brides in Nashville that are trying to figure out what do we do? How do we move forward during this time? And so I have had my own personal experience with Bella Bridesmaids Nashville. And so I reached out and I wanted to really talk with Melanie and figure out like how they're pivoting during this time and how they're still able to serve brides. So Melanie, thank you for joining me today. I just want to know, how are you guys adjusting to this social distancing?
Exactly. I think, the very first thing has to be kind of changing our mindset. Now that we're not doing things the way that we were doing things, how can we do them moving forward? Because you're right, brides are still getting married. That's one of the things we'll all look forward to, is celebrating those events. And so we have gotten creative to still be there for brides, because weddings will still go on. So, from your own experience, that a big part working with Bella is coming into the showroom, having your appointment, working with a stylist one-on-one to help you choose your styles. And we can still do that. It's virtually, and we've all gotten to be experts at Google Hangouts and Zoom meetings and all of those things. So we still schedule an appointment, and a stylist will still work with the bride one-on-one to pull the dresses that she's interested in. We've even gotten creative about seeing them on a body. We have mannequins.
Yep.
Our stylist has even tried on the dresses herself. So we still are doing appointments. We're just doing them kind of like
differently
right now.
Because you can't really have people in the store right now.
Exactly.
So, are the stylists jumping on like a Zoom or a Google Hangout? And because I know when I came in, I was lucky enough to get in before we kind of hit this quarantine. And so it was really great because when I went in, then, Lindsay was my stylist, and she started out talking about my vision of the day, and then she brought out like fabric sample. So are you still kind of going about the process the same? Of course, it has to be done virtually, but is it still trying to give them a similar experience just online?
Yes. So it still happens pretty much the same way. And it's not quite as personal being right across the table from each other. We're across the camera, but we want our brides to be able to connect to a face and a person, and not just somebody out there who randomly answers their questions. So that's why, rather than just talk over the phone, we're doing things by camera. And so again, hearing about the vision for a bride's day, what kind of, if she's thinking about romantic vibes, or if she's more a classic, sophisticated, clean cut look, or if it's going to be August and it's going to be really hot. So all those things, and we pull out the dresses that we think will meet what she's looking for, and then we just keep narrowing and honing from there. It's not the same as far as touching the fabrics here. So we are offering ways for brides to be able to actually see things at home if they want to.
And you were telling me, what are they called? Are they borrow boxes?
Yep, the borrow box, and it's an exclusive for us now, and we're excited about it, and it's been really successful. So we're not making money off the borrow boxes, but for $30, you can ship up to 3 dresses at a time. And then we also include a shipping label to return it. So that way the bride can see the dresses, more natural light than a camera sometimes gives us. She can, her bridesmaids, try them on, or she can try them on, keep them for 3 days, think about it, and then send them back to us. And that way she gets to see, oh, this is what crepe feels like as opposed to chiffon.
And so, I mean, of course, everyone's going to be in a little bit of a different stage of their selections. Just, some weddings are further out, some are a little bit closer in. So I know, in addition to the borrow boxes, you guys have also been just really creative in general, because you said that you've been like breast mannequins and
Yes.
allow the bride to come, like drive by after hours to see those dresses. So there's
That's one thing that's nice because we're not limited by regular store hours now. So, for instance, we've had a bride who couldn't come, during regular times we're here. And so dressing the mannequins, putting them in the window so that she can see them. We've done appointments through the windows, and it is also helpful to look at bellabridesmaids.com. That doesn't have a dress on there, but it has a wide selection, and it's a good place to get started. Creativity is really important right now. I think all of us had a hard time wrapping our minds around this whole thing. Like we thought in a couple of weeks, we'll just and we'll watch TV, and then we'll get back to what we were doing. And as it's gone on longer, and we realize for our brides who need to make some decisions, it's also really comforting for them to get started and make some decisions, because we're here on their team saying, we've got you, we've got your back. Like, we're communicating with all our designers. We're not going to put something out there that's not going to come in. If it's outside of your timeline, we're going to steer you to something that you can get in time. And we're going to be here to answer the phone when you want to talk. So if nothing else, we're getting the ball rolling and joining in the excitement, because we've always loved weddings. We're so you like this is what we love. So we want to be there. We want to be with our brides.
And so if someone's like going through the process, they could start out by doing the virtual consultation. Then would the next step maybe be to like look at doing a borrow box to maybe get a better feel for it?
Yeah, some people really do want to see it and touch it and have somebody try it on. So
because I mean it can look different on a body type than hanging on a hanger.
For sure. Some of them you just can't tell as much, and it is a small, it's a camera and a computer screen. So the box is really helpful. We've had brides ask for boxes, and we've had their bridesmaids ask for boxes to choose their styles. So the box is usually the next thing, although sometimes, some people are just ready to go and are glad to make a decision. And once they know what they like, we set up a virtual showroom. That's a normal thing with Bella Bridesmaids. It happens no matter how you start your process with us. So that's an online portal. It has all of your favorites from the day, and it's very flexible. We can add to it, we can change it, and the bride can invite her bridesmaids to the showroom so they can see what she's chosen. So
it's really fun.
It's really fun. There's a voting function on there. I'm really careful about the voting function. My husband likes to say people need to know it's not a democracy. It's a benevolent
dictatorship.
The bride's in charge. It's her day, but it is helpful to get people's feedback and input. And if you're, it's a way for them to all join in together and look at it and give their opinions about what they think about the dresses.
And one of the cool things about Bella is that there are multiple Bella locations across the U.S. So if you've got bridesmaids that are in other cities, they can look at, I guess, maybe trying to figure out what virtual options they're offering to help making a selection, right?
Sure. So even if we don't have something in our store, like if it was, we have a decent selection here, I think. We have a wide variety of dresses. There might be a particular style from a designer that we didn't have a sample in. We can reach out to another location and ask to borrow it from them. So there's
that's wonderful.
buzz on Bella, and right now the buzz is buzzing because everybody is trying to work together to support each other and share our resources and get things done.
And you were saying that you have actually been on the phone talking with the various designers that you carry, just checking on production time to see if anything's been affected by the virus.
Yes, it has been interesting to see how this has unfolded. And in the beginning, what we were hearing first when we were checking in was that it was more on the production side, that they were experiencing some delays, and different designers were affected in different ways. Now the effects are more stateside. gotten things that have been produced, but they have to have people, for instance, in New York, they're definitely working with skeleton crews right now, coming in, unpacking, boxing up, and shipping out what's due to retailers like us. And so it's nice for me because I'm not just talking to a random person, you know, I'm talking to my rep, and she's giving me the exact most up-to-date information. We were even talking with one designer this week that they're so determined to be on time for us. And
that's amazing.
so we literally did our customer manager, what we're expecting with like red, yellow, and green lights based on when the wedding dates were. And so they are sending somebody in to get those dresses and get them back to us on time. And so it's nice that we have a person to talk to, someone to connect with. And all along, I feel like every time a delay was coming, we've known that before it was going to happen. So we were able to tell our brides. But that is one thing brides might not realize now is production times are affected by this. And so even though it would be great.
And you said it wasn't necessarily all designers, but there were certain that are having more delays maybe than others.
It just depends on where their facilities are, on how spread out they are, and where they're getting things from. So even though we don't know how this is going to play out, and we're all so hopeful that May 1st is going to be this like really magic day when we all get to run out in the streets again. But sooner is better than later. I think that's the thing that we've learned is you just don't know what could happen, and sooner is better than later. So
is May 1st the date that you're hoping to target to?
Yes.
To at least start to allow people back in? Because I know we were talking before and you were saying that you do have the ability to limit how many people come in the store because it is by appointment.
Right. Since we're appointment based, we can limit the number of people who are in here at one time. So we need to have some staff here. And then a bride could bring 1 or 2 guests to kind of keep the party a little bit smaller on this appointment. And we also are doing our fair share of disinfecting. It might smell a lot like Lysol in here because we spray the dresses if they've been tried on. We're always between appointments, even before we close, we were wiping down all the surfaces, taking the extra steps. And we also have 3 separate appointment areas in the store.
Right.
So we're hoping that as the boundaries get loosened, we could have appointments in again, allow time in between appointments to clean and get ready for the next one, and then use a different area of the store for the next appointment, because safety is, more important than anything.
Absolutely.
For us,
Absolutely.
for our brides. So we try to be extra careful about that. And I think we have the means to do it. So I'm hoping.
And you were even saying with the borrow boxes that the dresses are sanitized when they come back. So if, say, that dress ends up going out to another bride or bridesmaid, it's been disinfected before it would go back out.
Right. The dress has been disinfected and it's hung by itself for 48 hours, not near another one. The hanger's been wiped down. So it gets a chance to breathe, and before it goes back out to anybody else, or before it goes back into the inventory with the other dresses.
That's amazing. And I mean, one of the things that I have loved about Bella and my experience with Bella is this, like, it's truly an experience where like your stylist is joining in on your excitement and they like want to help you and be a part of the process. And so I just think it's really great how you guys are getting creative during this time to still serve brides that are trying to move forward during this like really weird time. But I'm like excited for when the opportunity comes for the store to be able to open back up, just because it is a really special experience.
Thank you. Yeah, I love owning the store and being able to help brides. I'd actually retired for a little while, and my daughter found out the store was for sale, and she called me and she said, "This is what you're supposed to do. I just know it." And it brings me so much joy to be able to help. And so when we first entered into this time, and I thought, what does this look like now?
Yeah.
It's brought me even more joy to be able to do something at a time when there's so much stress that we get to relieve some of the stress. And
Absolutely.
we are as excited as you are, and we follow through with that all the way up to after your wedding. We'll be asking for pictures.
Yes, which Lindsay has started told me that I'm gonna have to send her pictures, which is I mean, it's just exciting when, like, this is just such a special time in a girl's life, and to be able to have someone that like shares in that excitement is it's just a blessing.
Well, that's the way we feel about it. That's the way we approach it. And so, in some ways, even though nobody would have wished for this, it's been a good thing for us to get creative about what we're doing, to remember why we're doing it. And I feel like we're really shining right now because we're not naive. There's lots of places to shop, but the unique experience that you can have with us is what sets us apart. And so we're able to still extend that experience and start down this road with our brides. And my heart goes out to them because planning is not what they thought. I know people are not able to have showers like thought, and so they're not able to go for wedding dress fittings like they thought, and they're not sure what their wedding is going to look like. And so I feel like the more people who are on your team, who are walking beside you, and that's what we're committed to do, is just walk beside you and be there and be somebody you can count on and somebody who can relieve some stress for you.
I think that's amazing. So if brides, I do know that there have been people who have gotten engaged during quarantine.
Oh, what are we going to call those quarantine brides?
I know. But if they are like reaching a point where they're ready to start the bridesmaids dress shopping portion of the planning, what is the best way for them to get in touch with you guys?
Probably the fastest way to get a response right now is to email us, Nashville@BellaBridesmaids.com. And then also call the showroom. Somebody is here. That's another thing. We're still passing out dresses. We're still shipping out dresses. June weddings, a lot of them are still on track. And so we're unboxing what we've got and sending them out. So somebody is here at the store Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 3 to answer the phone as well.
Perfect. And so then they can reach out to you, and then y'all will just get the process started and still give them a really fantastic experience, whether that looks like it's more virtual or if, they can reach a point where, it can be more of that in-person special touch.
Right. So, yeah, that's our goal, is to hopefully at least get started. But some brides might be surprised. Sometimes a virtual appointment is enough to get it done. We had a bride call on Tuesday. We set up her virtual showroom and we placed her contract today. So in 2 days, she was done. She liked what she saw and she was ready to go. So,
is it helpful for you guys? Like, do you ever look at a bride's Pinterest board during this time to kind of get ideas? Like, is that something that could be helpful for y'all?
Yes, absolutely. People share their Pinterest boards or send us inspiration photos. They can also look at BellaBridesmaids.com. There's a selection of the dresses that we sell there. And so that helps us get started. Even if it's not a picture of a bridesmaid's dresses, sometimes just from flowers that a girl likes, we can kind of get an idea of what direction she's going, how we can help her. We generally like to see what the wedding dress looks like too. That has a big influence on the bridesmaids' dresses. So we like to see all of those things. We like to know about the venue. That does a lot to set the tone, the venue. And all of those things will help us piece things together in a very proactive way. And it's one of those started, it's kind of surprising how quickly it can come together.
It really is, because I walked in and I thought, I'm just going to see everything. But Lindsay was really able to ask the right questions and drill down to what I ultimately saw. And lo and behold, after that first appointment, I had a pretty good idea of where I was going, but I just was able to solidify it on the second one. So
honestly, I think other than learning about the knowledge of the products that we have in the store, because it takes a lot of time to learn 20 designers and all their styles. But I think the number one thing that we are best at is listening, and listening to a bride and watching her body language as you show her things and as she talks. You can just learn a lot about what she needs. And it's just about listening and meeting needs. And that's why we're here.
I love it. I love it. Melanie, thank you so much for joining me today. I think this was really helpful. I love knowing how you guys are getting creative during this time and still finding ways to serve brides and spark joy with brides. So I love it. And of course, I'm such a fan of Bella Bridesmaids.
I'm a fan of you too.
And so thank you. And I will make sure that I include a link for people so that they can go to the website, and then I'll also post the email where they can reach out.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome.
This gives people just a little bit of hope. Time when we're wondering what to do next, we have some steps and we can all move forward.
Awesome. Melanie, thank you so much again.
Thank you. Bye.